This is a fighting and armor tip on how to prevent Greaves strain. Have you ever heard of Greaves strain? Probably not, because I made the term up. And what it is, I'll tell you what it is. We'll talk about what causes it and how to prevent it with this exercise I'm going to show you here in a minute. Greaves strain. When you're wearing armor, especially heavy steel armor, your greaves set right here, and you're often pushing up against that. A lot of times that's pushing off your knees and things, so you're actually putting even more stress on these little tiny muscles in your leg. This one no one ever thinks about here. This is Greaves strain. When this muscle here gets mad because it's doing way much more than it's used to doing. So you have a pretty big muscle here, probably for one, from fighting in steel armor for hours at a time, and two, because I do this exercise to prevent it. So now that you know what Greaves strain is and something that causes it, that repetitive lifting of weight on these little tiny muscles that aren't used to doing so much work, I'm going to show you how to prevent it. And that's what this one exercise we're going to do. But let me just say first, if you're going to have a big competition coming up, this isn't something just to throw in last minute to think, oh, I'm going to prevent my little tiny opposite calf muscle from getting worn out and sore and maybe hurt me. This is something you need to keep in your program a couple times a week. If you ever do forearms, do it on a forearm day. It's something you want to do, lighter weight, but lots of reps. So now let me show you how to prevent Greaves strain by doing this one simple exercise. I'm going to use this elastic band. I'm going to place these. See how it's not fitting over these Jordans? My Pittsburgh colored Jordans, black and gold. And a black and gold band, how about that? But you're going to have one on this foot. I'm going to curl my toes up. It also helps flex this muscle and also keeps it from sliding off. And we're going to wrap this other part around something stationary that isn't going to move. There you go, the other toes. Now resistance is just going to be how far away you are. Obviously, way too loose. Move back a little more. You can't really see in the light the muscle working, but you can see sort of where it dips in here. I'm pumping this. If I want it to be heavier, move back farther. I'll show you a side view. That is my Buhurt training or fighting in armor tip of the day on how to prevent Greaves strain. What is it? It's aggravating that little tiny muscle opposite of your calf on the front of your leg next to your shin. What causes it? Repetitive lifting motion, because your greaves sit on the top of your foot right here, and you're constantly lifting that up over and over, and you strain that muscle. And how to prevent it, the exercise I showed you just now, or some other tips. Some people are able to point their greaves into their chausses, or you can maybe find some other ways to get a lot more weight off of the tops of your feet with correcting things in your leg harness. So, if you haven't left a comment, do so now. Do you have a better suggestion or something you want to add? I'd love to hear it. And if you haven't subscribed, do so, because we cover lots of odd topics like this about fighting in armor on my channel. This is a Pachata Night. Hope I helped you out. See you in the next one.